Right, so it won't be the biggest deal of the day in terms of how much money is spent on it in terms of a transfer fee, but Jack Wilshere's potential move, loan move from Arsenal, will be one of the more intriguing deals of the day. We've got details on the back of today's paper here of the possibility of him going to Crystal Palace. They're leading the race to sign him. It's quite incredible, Jack Wilshere. Obviously, the golden boy, the one-time golden boy of English football, the great midfield hope. How it's come to this situation where he's going to find himself loaned out. He's had plenty of opportunity, plenty of seasons that Wenger has given him a chance to really cement his place in the Arsenal side. Injuries have stalled his progression, and it's denied Arsene Wenger the chance to have a player of Wilshere's ability on a consistent basis. So over the last couple of years, Francis Coquelin has come through. Arsene Wenger has strengthened in central midfield with Granit Xhaka coming in this summer, Mohamed El Neni in the last window. And the end result is that Wilshere has effectively been squeezed out, finds himself as the odd man out, can't be guaranteed regular games. So now he's pushed to try and get out on loan. Arsene Wenger has agreed, and a loan move today could work out to be the best solution for all parties. Now, as I showed on the back page of the paper, we've got Palace leading the race to sign him. Bournemouth are also in there. There's been interest from Italy and Spain in Jack Wilshere, so we'll find out today exactly where he goes to find some regular football. Chelsea's interest in David Luiz is a really interesting story that's cropped up in within the last 48 hours of the window. David Luiz obviously used to play for Chelsea, left 2 years ago for a 50 million world record move to PSG. He had an up and down spell at Chelsea, showed some great moments, but also had some downs as well. Was never really a consistent performer for Chelsea. And again, he's another one who struggled to just prove that he could be a good player for Chelsea on a consistent basis. So they let him go. But Chelsea really struggled to find a centre-back this summer. They've tried for Kalidou Koulibaly at Napoli. They tried for Alessio Romagnoli at AC Milan. They've had bids for both players rejected. So now they've turned back to David Luiz to try and bring him back to Chelsea in the Premier League. It'd be a huge shock. They've already had a bid rejected by PSG of around 32 million. So it'll be very interesting if they try and push that on today and try and raise their offer to try and bring him back. The word from France is that although David Luiz has fallen down the pecking order there, he's the third choice centre-back, and Unai Emery, the new manager, is very reluctant to weaken his squad in such a way in the last day of the transfer window, really leave PSG down to two senior centre-backs. Right, you can't have a transfer deadline day without Saido Berahino, and he features heavily in this one again. He would have been hoping this morning to secure a move to Stoke City, but those chances are receding as we speak. Stoke are increasingly feeling that Saido Berahino is going to be kept by West Brom again, as he was last summer when he fired off that tweet saying he would never play for the chairman, Jeremy Peace, again. He tried to get out again in January, it didn't work, and it looks like it's not going to happen again today. Stoke think he's staying there and he's not going to be allowed to leave until next summer when his contract's up. So Stoke have now turned their attention to Wilfred Boney, and this sort of movement is a sign of the domino effect that happens on deadline day. Wilfred Boney was one who was a player out of favour at Manchester City, who was on a few clubs' lists, Everton looking at him, West Ham as well, but he looks to be heading to Stoke, so he'll solve their search for a striker. West Brom were hoping to offload Berahino and get themselves Odion Ighalo. If they don't offload Saido Berahino, they may be stuck with him. They previously tried to get Diafra Sakho from West Brom. That also didn't work. Elsewhere, I mentioned Everton, who were interested in Boney. They've got an interest in Manolo Gabbiadini at Napoli as well. They were waiting last night for an answer. They were prepared to go up to around 25 million for him. So just a whole number of deals that are all interlinked and can all be affected by one, which looks set to be triggered by the Boney move first of all. One last deal to look out for is West Brom's interest in the Sporting Lisbon midfielder William Carvalho. He's been linked with a move to the Premier League for a number of years, but West Brom look like the side who are going to put up the money and be able to tempt him for 20 million. The issue West Brom have is that Leicester are trying to get two big players from Sporting Lisbon, Adrian Silva, the midfielder, and Islam Slimani, the striker. So it's a case of, will West Brom be able to persuade Sporting Lisbon to sell two more players on top of those two, to sell William Carvalho, on top of the two other players that they're already set to lose?